Hey guys, and welcome back to Omnifactory. On to episode number 31 now, and yeah, before I go any further, I do want to thank who it was that pointed out the fact that my microphone was picking up some weird static. So sorry if I pronounce this wrong, but Folan Iron. Yeah, thank you for that. I'm glad it didn't go any further than it did. It was a relatively quick fix. I'm looking at the kind of peaks on my recording and it seems to be absolutely fine at the moment. For those of you wondering, I use a blue snowball microphone. On the back there's like a switch setting. I don't know how because I didn't change it, but it managed to switch from I think it was from 3 to 1. I'm not entirely sure, but it meant that it was picking up a lot of the kind of background noise from my PC, which isn't that loud, so I'm not entirely sure why it was picking up that in itself. But anyway, that aside, yeah, this episode, what we'll be looking to do is finish off the majority of, or finish off as far as we can, the late game. So at the end of last episode we managed to get into our first creative item, which off camera has meant quite a bit of work for me. Not gonna lie. So 3, 2, 1. The big wall's gone, all of our MV machinery is now gone, and we've got this set up here and this, and we've moved our energy. Yeah, up here nothing too bad changed. I've upgraded up to chaotic solar panels, so each one of these is producing 262,000 RF per tick. There's 32 of them, so we're producing a nice amount of energy. And yeah, we've got rid of a lot of our kind of multi-blocks, if I'm honest. So the 2 cryogenic air distillation towers have gone, as well as the vacuum freezer. We've moved the vacuum freezer that was here, so if you remember, for those of you that aren't, this was our walkway. We had an assembly line here, vacuum machinery. We had the sugarcane farm, which I have I'm sticking with this one now, nothing too much untowards. Liquid XP pouring into here. We've got 1,000 levels if we ever need it. The vacuum freezer that was there is now in this corner, and we're only using the one recipe because in theory everything else that can be done in the vacuum freezer we can get a liquid version of, so we only have to ever make one of it. The superconductive wires, they are only available in that, so that's why that's on there. I got rid of the, I think it was the ZPM assembler or LUV assembler, and yeah, we've now got this wall here. So yeah, this itself, it wasn't actually that bad. So what these are, this is 10 UV assembly machines. So have a look at them. Assembler SUV, sure. It's these guys here. So it needed 20 of the wetware tier 9s, which in itself isn't too bad. It takes a bit of time, but other than that, essentially I left it running while I was doing a lot of the other work, so that's not a problem. The conveyor modules is just neutronium, which I'm saying it's just neutronium because of this thing here. So you can probably see it right there. This is our storage setup. So we've got crystal matrix ingots, 450,000, and yeah, osmium, osmiridium, iridium, all of the HSS, naquita, nether stars, dark solarium, titanium, energetic, vibrant. So with these ones, the reasons that they're not in kind of compacting drawers, if we have a look at the actual things themselves, so why okay, does that block then? Okay. Anyway, yeah. I wonder if that's why it won't go into the compacting drawers. Okay, so yeah, the energetic alloy, the vibrant alloy, the signalum, enderium, and lumium, they won't go into the compacting drawers, and I think that's potentially the reason why. I wonder if this is going to do the same. No, so that doesn't even have a block of it. But yeah, it's not too bad. They are interchangeable with the recipes, and you can literally just craft them straight through, which I've done for now just as a quick fix. So yeah, we've got all of these kind of, we've got omnium as well, but we've got 2 million ingots of neutronium. So yeah, it's definitely not a problem. We've got all of the empowered stuff except for the void crystal empowered, because we can't do it. We have unlimited draconium and awakened draconium, so we don't need to use that guy to get any more awakened draconium. I upgraded all of our blast furnaces up to the superconducting coils. I also upgraded the blast furnaces to UV power. So the way I've got it set up at the moment is each one is using its own UV CEF, because you don't actually need a battery to have the CES running, so that sped up things a long way. And it's also what's happening with these guys here, so each one's got its own CEF. If you have a look, just running through with the actual assembly machines themselves, I could have made them run a lot quicker, but it wouldn't look as well. So the problem that I have is that, and I do want to kind of show the back end of this, that's down to our power. I have the interface directly behind the machine, and I have a conveyor on the back. So let me just grab everything out of this one just to show you. So pick that guy up. As you can see there's the movement there. That's because, as you can see in the top left, so up here, it's actually saying conveyor module LUV. What you can do with these guys is, if you put a conveyor module onto any side of a machine, it automatically exports. You can use the screwdriver from GregTech to change it to an import as well if you need to. The problem that I had, and it's one that I didn't realize was a thing, you can't import things through that face then. So originally I had it set up where it would be interface straight in, conveyor straight out. Now, because you can't actually import directly in through the back, what it's meant is that I've had to put the crates on the back with some item conduits. Not exactly what I was hoping for, if I'm honest. Just to kind of show what I was hoping for, where we've got conduit faces here, I was hoping to have the creative tanks on top, with them just putting their liquids straight into it. But that's had to change a little bit, but that's working very well, and it's going a lot quicker. A lot of the processes, so we've got rubber, we've got the polytetrafluoroethylene, energized glowstone for our glowstone modules. These are fairly quickly now, so yeah, the elevation units, they get produced quite quick. I've also kind of destroyed half of the setups. So yeah, I mean, I'm still in the process of moving some stuff around, but yeah, the idea is to bring all of this down. We don't need all of these machinery anymore. I also made a couple of UV here we go, the advanced chemical reactor 7s. So I did this because I was using a lot of the draconic stem cells for the wetware processing for these guys here. In theory, these guys as well aren't too bad, so it just needs a motor, tier 8 and osmium. So we've got unlimited osmium, that's not a problem. The motor is superconductor wire with some neutronium, so yeah, that's not a problem at all. we could easily do that at our level before. So that's all run through. We've got the ZPM in there just putting all of its power in. I decided it was a case that I'm at this stage in the mod pack, I should never ever run out of power. Big statement, but we've got a bonus of 1.8 trillion. If I'm honest, I had about 6 or 7 trillion in my energy ball while it was up here that's just gone, and I wasn't bothered. Yeah, we wouldn't have any problems. So yeah, that's the tier 8 energy as per. I think it looks quite well there. I do enjoy the appearance on that side. But yeah, I also got rid of the kind of setup there as well. It's not needed. We've got a creative tank down there with rocket fuel. So yeah, that's it's still a work in progress. Don't get me wrong. I've got to make at least another one of these kind of rooms, which I do love the way these look. It's just so colourful. But yeah, that's that side in itself. I do enjoy that. What I also did was this. So these are all of our old fluid cells. I've narrowed down what we're storing. So realistically, I had things stored in there that now that we've got unlimited amounts of certain fluids, I don't need certain bits in it. And I've actually downgraded the storage all to 1 case. So if we have a look in here, this is all of the fluids that we're storing at the moment. Some of them probably aren't needed. Some of them will definitely be needed. But yeah, that's everything that we've got at the moment. We'll get around to that when it comes to it. But hopefully the majority of it got done during kind of the start of that, because the idea, as I say, what we'll be looking to do is complete the late game sector. So off camera I made the 2 Naquadah reactors, and I do kind of want to set these guys up because they produce a lot of power. When I say a lot of power, I really mean a lot of power. Especially this, so we wouldn't use the Mark 1, it's Mark 2. So for the materials that you use, spatial pounds, omnium's not a problem, the modularium stuff's not a problem, the transparent fission reactor cases is not a problem. The spatial pounds are probably the hardest parts in the actual set, but them they are not a problem at all. Nether star plates we've got unlimited of. Wyvern energy cores, again, now that we've got the unlimited amount of the empowered stuff, we've got unlimited of as well, so that's not a problem. I can set 3 or 4 of them if needed. And yeah, they are really, really good. So each one produces 2.6 million RF a tick per Naquadria or enriched Naquadah bolt. Now that's something that actually did remind me of one more thing that I did do as well. So there's a couple of things that I did that I do want to kind of pick up on as well. I got rid of a few machinery as well, just that aren't needed. Let's go down here. So what we have here is the 3rd tier fusion reactor. So it's the fusion reactor Mark 3. The reason I made this was because I needed to get Naquadria. So Naquadria, it will be Naquadah Naquadria. So Naquadria uses 49,152 EU per tick, which we only had the LUV level, so you need to make at least the ZPM level, which in itself, tier 8's not a problem. Now I just decided to jump straight to the tier 3. Uses pretty much the same stuff this side. americium plates, not a problem. We've got unlimited fluids and a couple of tier 9 circuits, ZPM stuff, so that wasn't a problem. I decided to do that simply because it was a case of why not. The machine framery, the fusion machine casings aren't a problem, so these guys are americium fusion machine casings, which are LUV machine casings in tungsten steel. Essentially, you can go about pretty much upgrading this through. That's, I think, the plan. The only thing that you change is the kind of fluid input hatches and the energy input hatches. But yeah, that's running absolutely fine. In terms of the actual Nequadria itself, so what it is, it's radon and enriched Nequadria, which you do in this guy here. You do it in the mixer. So it's grains of infinite. We have unlimited of that. Neptunium, we have unlimited of that. Pulsating iron again. Naquadah dust, we have unlimited of that now. Piezoality is just a pulsating crystal, and Innocence is a enticing crystal which uses a villager. So I didn't go out and find a village, you can just make that with emeralds. So yeah, in essence, that was absolutely easy, and I put it onto our setup back here. So we now have carbon and a Nequadria setup, so that we can create those cases as well if needed. So they're all set up with unlimited fluids. Now that is pretty much the last thing I did. I put some conduit in on here just so that I could speed up processing. That's going straight into the assembly line. Did I do anything else? Endgame? Nope, that's all done. That's done. Oh, I changed, if you are wondering, I changed that up to a portable tank with unlimited do the void. I also got a bit of helium-3. So with our rover that we've got on the moon, because we're no longer needing it to make deuterium, we've got unlimited of it. I decided to make the helium-3 rover. This guy here. Solar panels and a bit of EV stuff, because you do need, if it is ever something that comes into it anyway, the only way you can get helium plasma is with deuterium. So yeah, is with helium-3, sorry. So I don't know if it's going to come into it, but I decided, you know what, I'm going to make it anyway. So yeah, we've got that if it ever comes to it, and I've made all of these through. So we've got americium. These are all the stuff that you can probably see that I've made and probably not going to use a lot of, all the way through to yeah, helium-3. So essentially what I've been doing for those stuff is just putting it into here and letting it kind of drain through into the ingots, just because I haven't got it fully set up yet. That's the only reason. But yeah, let's get on to what we've got planned. So we need to make 4 of these guys, which we need 16 chaotic cores. I should have been running chaos shards. Beautiful, we're almost there actually. We're producing the last one. How far are we off? Almost done. So yeah, that's all been produced. The tier 8s are so much easier now that we have unlimited of the chaos. Now that we have unlimited of the matrixes. I've also got a ton of LUV batteries. And I'm probably going to have some more from when I break that down. But we'll see what happens. Anyway, that should mean I can make the chaotic cores. We need 16 of those. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. Come on. Does take its time sometimes, just because it's crafting a lot of things, really, having to process it. Yeah, Still in processing. Come on. Yeah, oh, because I clicked that out. Might be easier if I just do it this way. Can we just make it manually? Chaos, chaotic cores, neutronium, chaos shards, gravity stars. Do I have gravity stars? Ooh, okay. We are short on gravity stars. How hard are they to make? Ah, I didn't quite plan on that. Okay. Can we make gravity stars any other way? Autoclave. Okay. That's absolutely fine. I'm going to do it this way. I'm not wasting the extra stuff. Give me some nether stars. Give me a stack. Give me you for a second. Grab this guy. Autoclave is here. Yeah. Neutronium. There we go. So that will all run through. That'll run through the full thing as well. I'll go put this back before I forget. There we go. So that's producing those. I wonder if that's why it took so long to actually make that. I have a feeling that's why. Down here I've done a little bit of pattern rework, so the way I've got it set up at the moment is that anything that needs that shouldn't be in there. That one shouldn't be in there. This one should be over here. Anything that needs kind of 8 injectors is in here. Any other amount is in here. So these are 6 and 10. Just if you was wondering, not sure if you were. 14, 2 more please. Because if I'm honest, as soon as it brings it back up to 16, this should actually process quite quickly. I've also done a bit of clear out, so I've got rid of all of our stone dust, I've got rid of a lot of our lazurite dust, pyrite dusts. As you can see, our kind of AE system is looking a lot healthier. There we go. Can we make this now? Should be a fairly quick craft. In theory. Because we should have everything that's needed. Come on. Doesn't like this one. There we go. And yes, that did say 2 million bytes, and we were able to put that on autographed. For those of you wondering. Gravity star should be in the middle, right? Let's modify this filter. Add the gravity star. There we go. So that will make us our 16 chaotic cores. One of the other things that I want to start now is the ultimate material. So ultimate material is this. So we need some ender dragon scales, we need some wither bones, so what is it, 12 stacks of ender dragon, so dragon should be fine. Wither bones, we need some more of that, that's for sure. Should be from these guys, I think. Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's get this guy running through. Yeah, so that's those. And then it was 4 of the guardian scales. We get that, so that's fine. So I just need to get 1 stack of guardian essence. That should run through without any problems then. I'm going to run this through now. Put that back in there. And yeah, that's getting the ultimate material. That should be absolutely fine. In theory, what I need to do now is grab 4 of these guys. So, grab these 4. Because it should be 1-to-1. Yep, that's fine. Go up here. Obviously, we need to wait for our chaotic cores to come in, which they will take their time. What is it? 30 billion RF. And that's number 2. Yeah, they are going to take the time. I guess in the meantime, let me see if I can get the fluid solidifiers set up for that guy, or at least get them crafted. Oh, I already crafted them. When did I craft those? Okay. Yeah, for anybody that's wondering as well, I decided to use the LUV levels on these. It filled up the compacting drawers in the space of, I want to say, roughly 8 to 10 hours. In terms of the whole line, it took about 16, because at the moment these guys are set up at 10 per row, so there's 20 fluid solidifiers running off of a CEF that can only handle 16 machinery, so it had to run twice, but not too bad. I do like the way that this all looks. Like I've said before, we're stocking just over 1,000 portable tanks. If I'm honest, I've actually trashed like 30 or 40 just from the different fluids. The plan of action is to kind of mirror that on this side here. So majority of that guys is going to be moved. I'm not sure if what I'm going to be doing with the microminers. And to be honest, this wall, which didn't truly get used, is almost obsolete. There's a few different things that I need to set up, like the automation of the soul binder. That is still a pure manual craft, or well, semi-automated. With these are some of the other things that I need to get automated as well. Yeah, Franken zombies, sentient enders, that type of thing. This wall is probably completely obsolete, although there is kind of 4 patterns in there. Not entirely sure what I want to go, how I want to move forward, because while UV machinery itself isn't too bad, nor is power consumption. Although I think while I was producing the wetware circuits, I was actually losing about 5 million. Yeah, let's not look at that. That was minus 70 million. That's just because this doesn't have any limitations. It will pull out whatever it's needing. But yeah, in terms of power, I'm not bothered. We've got 8.2 trillion RF. If I somehow mess that up, all it needs is to wait until the next day and it produces all of this. But what is it? There's 32 of the actual solar panels there. Each one produces, what was it, 260? Yeah, 262,000 RF per tick, which we've got 32 of those going. With a little bit of math, that's about 8.3, give or take, 8.3 million RF a tick, give or take. And we're upgrading 4 of these up to the neutronium level, which, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's about that number that whole thing produces. So we're almost quintupling our RF production. Yeah, a little bit mad on those sides. We'll see what actually happens. Back here as well, I didn't mention it, but I completely got rid of the reactor. It is just not needed. There was nothing that came from that I would ever realistically use, because I did kind of look into it as well. So the fact that we can make kind of fluid californium, I was like, maybe we can work this out, but you can't unfortunately use any of these liquids. It is a real annoyance, because you could make some really good reactors with that. It'd be quite an interesting setup using kind of californium set, like your LECEF or HECEF. You could run through that. So each one of these, what is it producing? It produces 860 R per cell. Wouldn't produce that much, to be honest. It wouldn't really be worth it now that I think about it, but I don't know. Yeah, realistically though, absolutely not needed. RTGs as well, they're always fairly nice, to be fair, but again, it's not something that's ever used. So yeah, that was completely obsoleted. I do want to get rid of all of these, so I'm not afraid of doing this. Give me a trash and all of these fluids. There you go, they have now all gone. Cleared that side up. Right back. You guys need to hurry up. How many chaotic cores have we got? We're halfway done. Yeah, that's going to take its time. Anything that we can do in the meantime? Kind of a lot of the stuff that we need to do now, it just takes a lot of time, and it's not stuff that I want to realistically put onto an episode. So the base rework in itself, it just needs a lot of messing about, and I do it across the space of, well, as you can see, I do it across the space of days, just because of how I want to make sure that we've constantly got our automation stuff sorted. I'll be honest, knocking this wall out here was relatively enjoyable. I was actually really happy, because it was that wall was annoying me for this best part of 10-15 episodes. So yeah, the best part of a couple of months, because I never upgraded it, and I was actually using the assembly machine that was on there to make our frames. So yeah, there's a few different things that, yeah, realistically should have sorted that out a long time ago. Part of me does want to change the way that this is set up to speed it up as well, but some of it I can't. So I use multiple interfaces per assembly machine, which I was hoping I could avoid, but few things meant it couldn't. Yeah, but yeah, I'm tempted to kind of change it around a little bit. I don't know, I do like the way that it looks. I just wish that I could have made it a lot quicker without it looking horrible. Yeah, that's a shame. I upgraded our storage on this guy as well, so we're keeping about just over 8,000 epoxy resin sheets in. I'm almost losing out of things to talk about. How are we doing over here? I forgot to set that running. Damn it. Do you know what? Let me take these guys down here. There's a reason that this is set up like this. With go there. Go with that. Okay. That should speed that up a lot. I completely forgot to actually set that going. But in terms of that, let's have a look as well. So ultimate, is, we don't need that, we just need a heart, so we need a stack of hearts. We need the Guardian scales, which is 4 stacks. Ender Dragon scales, which is 12 stacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then it was how many wither bones? I think it was 8 stacks. So I can make a quarter of it. Let's go its own thing. What is it? It's a advanced yellow. Just throw that down here. Okay, we've got 60 of those. That should complete the actual quest. Let's see if there's. I don't think. If I've had a look right, I don't think there's anything that comes off of the back of this. But I guess we'll have to wait and see what actually happens. Yeah, I made a couple of the empowered void gears as well, so we've got those on autocraft. I made 10. Realistically, not a problem at all. The hardest part is the void gear, the normal void gear, just because that's on semi-manual craft at the moment. Wither. Make another 16. Go. Don't take too long. Takes a lot longer than I should have done, but yeah, that's absolutely fine. There we go. Final set. Come on, hurry up. Give me my 2 stacks. But yeah, things like that as well. Mote of Omnium, I still actually need. So it's actually used in making the Eternal Catalyst. So realistically, I need to be able to get that on autocraft, which is something that I am working on. That's kind of the whole plan. With the fluid solidifiers, I'm going to have them automatically keeping in stock the stuff that's needed for the actual motes. Because that the Eternal Catalyst in itself turns into the Infinity Ingots, Infinity Catalyst, things like that. Chaotic Cores, Heart of Universe. So yeah, there's a few different things that I need to work on, but realistically, when we are still quite a way away from getting up to kind of this level, but the reason for that is just time. It's not at this stage, the whole kind of pack itself, it's got to that stage where it's starting to drag. Nothing against the pack. Every pack with the end game unfortunately does that. It takes a lot of time to get certain things done, which you can look at it both ways. You have to have it some way to make it hard to make the pack last, but yeah, I'm not so pleased with how long certain things take. So the wetware processing is a prime example of that. I will be setting up a kind of keeping stock system on those, but they take way too long. They shouldn't take anywhere near as long as they do. But that should complete the end game quest of that one, right? Yep, so that takes us into the Eternal Catalyst, that's fine. Yeah, let's have a look, see what we're doing with Chaotic Cores. We are 3 away. So I guess let's have a look and see what else is needed. So superconductor wires, what is it? It's 8 blocks of Omnium. The Omnium is the easy part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll take that. Easy. Superconductor wires, I should have some left over. So it was blocks. How many have we actually got at the moment? Because I know that I made enough at one point, but I've been using them as well. Okay, so I've got 57. To make 4, I need, what is it, 60? 4, 4, 4. Yeah, okay. I think I might have made enough. Oh yeah, I made enough to change the whole setup up there into the neutronium solar panels. I think that's what actually happened. But okay, that's fine. Come on, chaotic cores. 15, so we're crafting our last one. That's fine. Go. Get everything ready. I wonder if there's a quicker way of speeding this up. I might have to have a look into the draconic wireless power to see what actually see if that's any good. I'll be honest, it's not something that I've ever actually played with, so could be an interesting kind of learn on that side. It's the wireless energy crystals, these guys. Basic, Wyvern, draconic. It's draconic wireless. Okay, so that's the highest level, which that's fine. They are fine. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely something worth looking into for sure. I'll play around with that off camera and see if it's any good. So if it is, that could be one way of speeding this up. Turn all of those off. Wait, no. It's that way. Blocks of omnium. And we need our cores. There we go. Superconductor wires. And it's you. And how much energy do you take? 134 billion. That's a low number. Okay, so that in itself is probably going to take the same amount of time that it took to craft all of those chaotic cores. So, yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll take a quick cut here. I'm going to have a look into a way of speeding those up. Hopefully the wireless draconic stuff will work. I'll be moving the entire setup shortly anyway, because it definitely doesn't belong there any longer. But yeah, I'll be back once all of the neutronium panels have been crafted. Okay, and the final one should have just done there. Beautiful. Kind of off camera, just to speed it up, I did cannibalize a few things and I brought the superconductor energy conduits in. Yeah, it was a lot quicker. I wish I'd have done that in the first place, and it does kind of remind me that I need to upgrade the wiring around the base every now and again. Anyway, 4 neutronium solar panels. Now, is that the final one of late game? It looks like it is. Let's claim. And beautiful, got the green tick. So early game, mid game, late game, all ticked off. So yeah, we're now just working through to this. We need to make another tier 10 micro miner. And yeah, we'll go from there. But let's go for now. Place these bad boys in. Hopefully it should multi-block right. Should do, right? Where have I ended up? Up here. And 16 million RF a tick. Okay, let me change this up. So, if for those of you wondering why it's saying 16 million there is a very easy solution. So these guys here can only output a certain amount. and I have 4 connections. So what we shall be doing is actually very simple. Essentially, I'm just going to switch it around. So, top corner, because these guys can transfer 32 million per surface. So, essentially, if I go like that, that's more the power than what I would have been getting anyway. 34 million. Now I can put all of these back on. There we go. Okay, so that puts us up another 8-ish million. So now when it stabilizes, because at the moment as well there's nothing running, there's no power that should be going out of this realistically. Yeah, 50 million RF per tick. There probably still will be a bit actually, because they've left the I've left that guy on, so that'll still be producing some sending power somewhere. But yeah, that's not too bad. 50 million RF a tick, and I think, yeah, off camera I'm gonna see how far I can get with the base transformation. I do plan on making another couple of the assembly lines, probably 4 or 5 if I'm honest, just to speed certain things up. Get a few things done for the draconic stem cells as well. I am now tempted to upgrade the wiring in the base as well, up to the superconductor wire conduits, because it's not hard to make. Again, it's unlimited resources. But I do want to play with the wireless draconic stuff. So yeah, these guys here, the energy crystals, kind of want to see what they're like. Energy input outputs, yeah, not too sure. Like I said, it's not something that I've played with before, but I am definitely interested in seeing how it actually works, see if it's any good. So if it comes down to it, it might work out better me using those than conduits, I don't know. But I'm going to call it there for this episode. I'm going to rewire a few things back up as well, get everything back up and running. But yeah, the base itself looking very nice. I definitely like how that looks. I'm hoping it looks as well when it's mirrored on that side. A few different things here, a few little bits here and there, but yeah, I do like the fact that this is kind of our central system. Give me day. I want power. But yeah, we'll see what happens. If you are going to stick around and you did enjoy the episode, completely wrong way around. If you did enjoy the episode and you are going to stick around, do hit that subscribe button to stay tuned. Thank you guys for watching. Goodbye.